Hello everybody, this is Evan Rogers coming at you with another exciting EvansEasyJapanese.com video teaching you all about the past tense of both e-adjectives and plain form / direct form verbs. Direct form verbs are the u and the ku sound, like ikimasu is a distal style verb, whereas iku would be a direct style / casual dictionary form / plain form verb. We are going to talk about the e-adjective verbs first, which will bring us into our verb forms later. I want to talk about, there's two ways to make an e-adjective past tense. If I've been saying negative this whole time, it's because I have mistakenly said negative and I meant to say past. What we need to know is, first and foremost, that past tense isn't actually called, well, it is actually called past tense in like every single textbook you do. However, it's a little bit different than past tense. Past tense isn't wrong. It just might be better explained as completed from whatever point of view we're talking about in the time that, when you're writing a story or you're writing some sort of history lesson. If it ends in this quote-unquote past tense, what it really means is that the action has been done. Japanese generally has two tenses, and that is, it is done happening or it is not yet done happening. Those are basically the two tenses. You are going to hear me say the following in numerous videos, that e-adjectives and verbs share a lot in common, and a little bit of that is going to come up here for you to see right now. All right, so let's talk about e-adjectives in the past tense / the completed form. What we need to know first and foremost is that the negative of the negative past tense, or the negative e-adjectives, for example, we have takai, taka, as our example right here. Takai means expensive or a tall location. A price might be tall, ergo it is expensive. The negative turns into takakunai. You might remember when I was doing the negative video, one or two videos ago, it said, I told you, not it, because I'm most certainly a human. I swear I'm human. I'm not Mark Zuckerberg. Nai is actually the negative plain form of aru, which is arimasu, aru, to exist non-animatively, like a chair or a table, arus. Takaku nai is this little nai right here is the negative form of arimasu, aru. That being said, did you notice how it ends in an E sound? Thus, the past tense of takaku nai is takaku na katta. We just add this katta to the end of any E adjective, and it makes it past tense. Without a des after this, or without a noun following it, that is when it's sort of at the end of a sentence all by itself, being what's called the complement of the sentence. So, それは高かった. If we don't add a des after that sentence, it is being in the plain / the direct style of speech. We're being a little bit casual with the other person. We kind of know them. They're almost in group would be the idea. Okay, that's it for e-adjectives. You just do takakatta, takakatta. However, I do need to explain one thing. This ku is actually how we turn an e-adjective takai. We just switch to a ku. That ku is actually the what would be the correct term for that? The adverbial form of it. It almost turns into an adverb. We could even call it a connective. It almost like it connects to another thing. So you can see takaku nai, and then takaku nakata, for the rest of your days. Takaku nakata. Okay. So whenever you have that little e adjective, that little e at the end of an e adjective, you can kata it to make it past tense. However, okay, so this little ku right here, that's an aru. We talked about how that was aru. We can use aru to do all of this fun stuff, or arimasu indeed. For example, hayai turns into hayaku. We zoom on down. We can see, where did I put that? This will all be available eventually, one of these days. We can turn the negatives into, for example, muzukashii. Difficult. Something is difficult. Notice the word is kind of included in the e adjective. Something is difficult. Negative. Normally it would just be muzukashiku nai, but as I told you before, nai is the plain direct negative of arimasu, and so we can actually do muzukashiku arimasu. We almost never do it. Just straight up, we almost never do. But the positive could easily be muzukashiku arimasu, or muzukashiku, the negative would be muzukashiku arimasen. Or we could make the negative past, treat it just like a verb. Muzukashiku arimasen deshita. Or make it past tense. Muzukashiku arimashita. Once again, these are much less common, but still totally doable. These you're going to see this almost not entirely, but I don't know, 80-20 writing over speaking. People won't speak this as much as they will write it. It is it's formal. So unless you're in a formal situation where you're talking like the ball, you're not going to be hearing this much spoken. It will be spoken, but not as often. So got to cover my bases. Okay, that being said, that's pretty much it. I would imagine that, yeah, muzukashiku aru might also exist, but it's not so much. Even less than the previous ones. So I'm not even going to talk about it. Okay, that being said, let's jam on down to plain form verbs and make them past tense. We're going to do the past tense negative, and we're going to do the past tense positive, or the complete. All right, here we go. Time to do some past tense / complete form, direct form, group 3 verbs. We're going to start off with the group 3, and you're going to find a connection between group 3 verbs and the group 2 verbs. But we're just going to start with the group 3 verbs because the rule is shut up your face and memorize it. You got to memorize the rule. Okay, so there's only 2 group 3 verbs. We got suru and kuru, i.e. shimasu and kimasu. Okay, so suru turns into shinai. So why does the su turn into a she? That's weird. And then for the pattern continues. Shinai is an e adjective because it ends in a she. It ends in an e. Sorry, speaking is hard for me. The last sound e sound there, just blast onto a kata. So shinai turns into shinakata. Oh, sugoi. All right. However, this she sticks around for the regular positive past tense, or so we call it just shita. However, it's not pronounced shita; it's pronounced shita. So, nani o shita? What did you do? Suru, shinai, shita, shinakata. Suru turns into shita, shinai turns into shinakata, just like every other e adjective / verb. Have you ever heard me say that e adjectives and verbs have a lot in common? In fact, they're grouped in the same word group called a verbal. Verbal. Okay, kuru. Kuru turns into konai. That's just the negative. Sorry, the rule is shut up and memorize it. That's why they have their own section. Kuru, the past tense is, remember how this was kimasu and turned into kuru? And then the past tense is kita. So kuru, konai, kita. Then next we have konakata. So konai, konakata. Kuru, kita. Sorry, these ones, the pattern is just kind of stupid. You just got to memorize it. One thing I will say about this pattern is that the beginning of it changes, which is fine, but this ru turns into a ta. This ru turns into a ta. That's the pattern you're going to see with the group 2s. In fact, I'm going to skip the special polite form verbs. I'm just going to jam over to the group 2s so we can just keep that in mind. Where are the group 2s? Okay, here's the group 2s. So like I just said, the ru just turned into a ta, and you're done. Except for with the negatives, because they're not actually verbs at this point. They're actually e adjectives. Switch that e to a kata, and you're done. It's just like that. I don't know. I'm Italian. I don't know what this is. Okay, so taberu turns into tabe ta. Tabenai. Don't eat. Or I don't eat. Someone doesn't eat. Tabenai turns into tabena kata. I should probably highlight the kata. All right. Miru. Ru turns into ta. Mita. Minai. Mina. Kata. Dekiru. Deki. Ta. Dekinai. Dekina. Kata. Okay, great. That is the group 2s and the group 3s. Group 3s are kind of shut up and memorize it, but the e turns into a kata, the ru turns into a ta. E turns into kata, ru turns into ta. Oh, okay. Same thing with the group 2s. Ru to tas, e to katas. You're done. That's it. those are your group 3s and your group 2s. Group 2 verbs, just a refresher, they're sometimes called ichidan verbs or they're called group 2 verbs. I don't think I've ever heard a different name for them. They could also be called consonant verbs for some strange reason. That's sometimes, some people might even call them rue verbs because they all end in a rue, but that sounds like rhubarb. Hey, let's get out the rue verbs and do ourselves a rue verb pie. That'd be a great idea. I should illustrate a rue verb pie. That would be a funny t-shirt. I gotta write that down. Rue verb pie. Rue verb pie. All right. I'll see what I can come up with. Okay. Next group, the special polite verbs. The special polite verbs, there are 5 of them. Irasharu, which is irashaimasu, the plain form of irashaimasu. Nasaru, the plain form of nasaimasu. Osharu is the plain form of oshaimasu. Kudasaru is the plain form of kudasaimasu, which is the kudasai, kudasaimasu, kudasaimasen ka? And gozaru is the plain form of gozaimasu, which is your arigatou gozaimasu and your ohayo gozaimasu. Okay. All of the negatives, they're verbs. When they turn into negatives, they all end in nai, 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 nai. Bill Nye, the science guy. I forget what I was saying last time. Ira shara nai. So the E sound changes to a kata. You're done. Ira shara nai. Ira shara na. Kata. Nasara nai. Nasara na. Kata. I don't need to go through the whole thing. You got it. Okay. Ira sharu. Ira shatta. So with every single special polite verb, I thought there was going to be another word after that. There isn't. Every single special polite form verb ends in a ru in the direct form. Ru, 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 ru. So this is going to be one of the rules that also applies to the E verbs. To the group 1 verbs. The group 1 verbs, when they end in a ru, this ru gets replaced with a small tsu ta. Okay? Just like group 1, which we will get to next. It ends in a ru, and these ones, special polite verbs and group 1 verbs switch to a small tsu ta. So, irasharu, irashatta. Nasaru, nasatta. Osharu, oshatta. Kudasaru, kudasatta. Gozaru, gozatta. Okay? That's it. So, rus to small tsu tas. The E sounds just like every single other thing I've been saying this whole time. Nakatta. The E turns into a kata. All right. Let's look at the group 1 verbs. These are the tricky ones. Group 1 verbs, el tricarino. This actually involves some memorization and a lot of practice. It's annoying. Up until now, it's actually been kind of easy. Just ru to ta, memorize the key turns in the ku turns into a ki, the su turns into a she. Then just memorize ru turns into ta, and the E turns into a kata. Up until now, it's just basically been that. And now we have to do like a bunch more memorization. So if you get all this, you got a lot of verbs under your belt. Let's go on to group 1, aka the Godon verbs. Godon verb. Oh, Godon barbaru. All right, here we go. Right here, we're just doing the negatives, which is in a different video. So let's actually like move along. Just like as I've been saying, anytime you have a negative in the like awanai, turns into awanakata. Yobanai, yobanakata, nomanai, nomanakata. Okay, so now the regular old past tense. Now for the hard part, just straight up past tense, aka the complete form. Here is the chart. Like I just got done saying, I had to burp, so I edited it out, and then I chugged a bunch of water. Okay, anyway, here's the verb chart. Every single verb, group 1 verb, is going to end in the plain form in one of these sounds. Either it's going to end in an u, a tsu, a ru, a ku, a gu, su, nu, bu, or mu. There's no u verb, and there's no, what's the other one? Oh, and there's no hu verb. Every other u sound is going to be a verb. Or there will be a verb, at least one verb in every sound that isn't hu or u. Okay, if the verb ends in u, tsu, or ru, just like the special polite verb ended in a ru, and it's a group 1, we change that last u sound into a small tsu ta. We'll get into examples next, but just the oo, the tsus, and the roos turn into small tu tas. And then there's one son of a gun. I would curse, but I'm trying to be a little bit more PG on this thing, even though I'm not doing a very good job. Iku, to go. Iku, to go, like I will go to the store, ikimasu, iku. This one doesn't follow this pattern. This is the only verb that I can think of that breaks the pattern, and the ku turns into a small tuta. So iku's past tense is ita. Next, if the verb ends in a ku but isn't iku, and it's a group one, all group one verbs end in a ku, change that ku to an ita. Okay, so we have small tutas, then we have itas, and then we have, if it's not a ku, it's a gu. It ends in ida. So luckily, this is basically the same thing. Ku without tentens, ita. Gu is ku with tentens. Ida is ta with tentens, right? So that's why they're green. They're kind of similar. Okay, so ku and gu, ita, ida. Unless you're doing with iku, iku goes with the utsurus, which is small tu ta. Annoying, I know. Here's a small respite. If the verb ends in su, like hanasu, to speak, that su looks just like the past tense of shimas, suru, shita. So hanasu, hanashita. There's no connection, just it's a lucky break. And then there are just one more. There's just one more group of group ones, and it's the nu, bu, and mu. If you actually think about this, they actually are very linguistically and vocally similar. So go ahead and just focus on what your tongue and stuff is doing in your mouth. It sounds weird. I know I said I was going to be PG, but just go with me here. Okay, now say nu. Now say boo and say mu. Nu, mu, boo. Say them fast. Nu, mu, boo. Feel where everything is happening in your mouth. Nu, mu, boo, nu, mu, boo, nu, mu, boo. It's all lips and the very front of your mouth. Nu, mu, boo. It's almost like you're kissing somebody. Okay, if you just say them really quickly, you don't want to see that. So those guys all feel the same. I mean, not literally the same, but very similar. Which is why they all fall in the same group, and that is you replace these sounds with nda, 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 nda. Okay, then there's one thing that I want to talk about. And you might notice this if you've been studying Japanese at all. Why does every single textbook teach you about death? It's like you're going through this means to go, this means to write, this means to sleep, this means to die. And it's not just because you want to say, omae wa mou shinderu. It's because there are only two that I know of verbs that end in the nu sound. There's inu and shinu, and both mean to die. So if you want to actually learn the complete how to conjugate / agglutinate all the play and form verbs, if you want to know how to do every single one of them, you have to learn, unfortunately, the verb for die. There's literally no other verb they can give you that doesn't mean dead. There was a textbook I was teaching out of once, and they had a big old picture of like, say what happened in the picture, because they're practicing the past tense, and there's like a kid blowing a leaf or, blowing a flower, people talking on the bench, and there's just like a dead dog in the street with a taxi driving by, and it's like, dude, you just ran over a dog. And that's because there's no other verb that has a nu that doesn't, all the nus mean death, unfortunately. This is also the reason why the number 4, ichi, ni, san, shi, nu, is unlucky number in Japan. Anyway, I'm going to get off that topic. Utsuru and iku, small tu ta. Every ku sound, replace the ku with an ita, except for iku. If it ends in a gu, it's ida, ita, ida. If it ends in a su, it's shita. If it's nu, bu, mu, if it's one of those like front weird things, it's nda, which is convenient because even nda, that's all happening in the front of your mouth. And it just dawned on me, there's also no zu verb with the tsu, and there's no zu verb. So there's no verbs ending in zu either. That was just an off note. I should have mentioned that earlier. So no who's, no yous, and no zoos. There's probably another one I'm forgetting. Just shut up. All right, let's look at a few examples. Okay, so here's basically all of them. As you'll see, death is one that I have to teach you. Sorry. Okay, so au, past tense is atta. Now, the negative is awanai. The e turns into a kata. Iku was the weird irregular, was like the only irregular one. So it goes to the ita, just like au does. Au atta, iku itta. Okay, next we have a kugu one. So kaku turns into ka ita. See, the ku turns into an ita. Next one is a kugu oyogu, to swim. Oyogu oyo ida. Hanasu is the su one that sounds just like a group 3 shita. So hanasu, hanashita. Tatsu, which is a utsuru verb. So tachimasu, tatsu, ta. The tsu turns into a small tsu, ta. Shinu, to die, is a numubu. Numubu, shinu, shinda, omae wa mo shinderu. That's actually the te form. I'm just having fun with that. Yobu, that's a numubu, yobu, yonda. And once again, the negative yobanai turns into yobanakata. Just the e turns into kata. All of these e turn into katas. Did I just do yobu? Yeah. Okay. Nomu is a nomubu. Is a numubu. Nomu, nonda. And then the last one was a ru sound, so I did hashiru, to run. It's another utsuru, hashiru, hashita. So once again, the ru turns into a small tu ta, the mu, nda, bu, nda, nu, nda, tsu, ta, hanasu, shita, oyogu, ida, kaku, kaita. Irregular iku turns into itta, and ao turns into atta. One thing you might have noticed, and this is important for everybody who wants to learn kanji, did you notice how everything that changes about the verb is left out of the kanji? A, u, a, ta, a, wanai, a, wanakata, iku, ita, ikanai, ikanakata, right? Go through all of these, and at least for group 1 verbs, every part that doesn't change is in the kanji. That might not always be true, but you can kind of really see that it definitely looks like it's mostly true. This is mostly true. Group 2 verbs are a little bit different because they have that S sound. But group 1 verbs basically follow that pattern. After this, we're going to learn about the te form. And what you might have noticed is that I didn't ask for donations. I'm going to now. Please like if you enjoyed what you had, what you just learned right now. Please share this with all of your social media, because there's some, you would not believe how many times I'm out in social media and it's like, somebody teach me Japanese, and I'm doing it for free, and it's like, dude, if somebody just freaking told you. So I tell them, but then I get yelled at for, trying to get money, which, trust me, this is not profitable at all. Please make a donation. We got paypal.me/EvansEasyJapanese, or through Patreon, and the next thing that I should ask for, or Bitcoin. And with that, I will stop my panhandling ways and wish you a good day. Please have a good day. Peace out.